to the Billy the Brush Art channel. The channel dedicated to the works of William Mumford, also known as Billy the Brush, one of the world's most notorious, prolific, reformed art forgers. Billy put over £6 million worth of forged art through some of the world's major auction houses before he was finally caught and jailed for 2 years. His sentence was reduced from potential 7 years due to the fact that the majority of people that were identified as having forged art were not prepared to admit that their art was forged. Today's example of Billy's work is the lovely Renoir you can see behind me here. As I mentioned in last week's post, today is going to include a chat with Billy himself and his manager James Harty. So now over to Bridport for a chat with Billy and James. Well, Billy, thank you very much for dropping by for a chat. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about your television appearances.
I've done quite a few, but one of the most embarrassing ones was I did one for Sky Arts, myself and my partner David. The whole concept was the Great Masterpiece Challenge. They put a fake painting in a museum, a real museum. Members of the public had to go around and try and find which was the fake for a prize. And they had various experts looking at the paintings, trying to find out which one was the fake. And David and I were the so-called experts on this episode, and it was at the Lowry Museum up in Manchester, and it was a fake Lowry. Right, so all the, you know, the camera crews are there, members of the public are there, you know, Giles Corran, he was the guy who introduced it all and did the interviews. And there's David and I looking studiously at all the Lowrys, and we've both done a lot of Lowrys in our time. And I'm looking at one, he's looking at the other, and you know, there's about 50 paintings. Anyway, to cut a long story short, in the final, before they unveiled which one was the fake, they put us, David and I, in a room with the painting we thought was the fake, right? Interviewed us why it was the fake and what have you. And then they did the great unveiling, right? And of course we'd got the wrong painting. Right. We picked the genuine Lowry as a fake, and we missed the fake on the wall. So that wasn't a very auspicious time for the Billy Mumford sort of expertise, put it that way.
So who painted the fake on the wall?
Oh, a copyist who lives down in St Ives.
Right.
Yeah, professional copyist. She was very good.
Yeah.
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 Over to you, James.
So Billy, tell me about the radio ads that or the radio work you've done.
Yeah, I think I've got the perfect face for radio. Actually, I've worked for the BBC and local BBC and also national. I did a BBC arts programme in which they were looking at the subject of art forgery, and they took some shots of my studio, but I was only a small part of that. It was almost a history of art from the great art forgers down to modern day, and that was interesting. I've done quite a bit of BBC radio stuff, local, and also made a video for Vice, Sky Arts. So it's been quite varied, but it's something that I don't really go out and try and get.
No, well,
you know, it's something that comes along.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, I noticed that a lot of the media people come to you now. I mean, I get phone calls. I feel phone calls quite a lot.
Yeah.
We had the American people, didn't we, one
yes.
time? There's some American people who asked him about doing some work. Oh, I thought I was going to follow me then. About doing some work over in America, and Billy said yes to it initially, and then realised he couldn't go to America because he's not allowed in there anymore because of the previous.
Because of unfortunate money laundering thing to do with art. But it just reminded me, Jim saying that there's an artist that myself and David Henty, we're being at the moment being touted around by an American producer called Ben Charles, who's pretty big. I think you looked him up, Jim, didn't you?
Yes,
yeah. And we had a Zoom meeting with the BBC the week before last, and an independent production company, and the thing is going to be called, the working title is The Great British Fake Off.
As opposed to fake.
Yeah, so I and David paints different stuff to me, so the concept is that people, a bit like the Sky Arts thing, members of the public and viewers have to find which one is the fake, and you know, presumably there'd be prizes. But that's a project, you know, in the pipeline. But as Jim says, I don't openly court the recognition. No, you know, because that's Jim's side of our relationship. You know, he manages me, so he might get more stuff than I come in that I know about, and he decides whether it's right or not.
Well, thank you very much indeed for that, Billy. It's been very interesting.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to see you again soon.
Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And if you're interested in acquiring any of Billy's works, please visit our website at www.billythebrushart.com.